Hey guys, this is John out here with you. Welcome to Resident Evil 0 Commentary Part 6. When we left off last time, it was the knights and the doors that were blocking the path, and now we use the modus to open those. If you're wondering why I'm using the microphone this time, I think it's because when I tried to use the camera audio initially, the volume was too low and you had to jack everything up like crazy in order to be able to hear it. So now we're going to go ahead and try to use the microphone to see if whether or not the volume is going to be the normal level it was when I did the first initial videos, and see if you can also get the commentary as well from the video perspective. So now, with Rebecca and Billy, we're just trying to get through the next few areas here. In this, you're going to get through the initial sequence to be able to get the Book of Evil, to be able to put the other statue on the scale and open up the path. That's pretty much what we're going to do in this video. So, I'm going to be honest here and let you know that I went ahead and I played through this again to get to another spot. So I ended up getting the second knife and everything else on Tuesday, because Tuesday is the day that I actually have off, and that's the only chance really to be able to go ahead and do these commentaries. So that's how it has to be done. I had to play through everything just to be able to get a few extra pieces of equipment and get a little bit of a run through and know how through the areas, so I don't stumble around like a freaking idiot trying to figure out where to go next. So here again is another spot, as you can see, with having Rebecca and Billy together makes a lot more sense. Take out these enemies quickly, so that way you're not end up taking up needless damage. There's a few blue herbs on the other side. The blue herbs, when you combine them with green, allow you to remove the element of poison, and that's going to be more useful as you get further and further throughout the game. If you want to ever read more of that stuff, I'm going to try to skim through it now. You can always pause the video. Pretty much in that document, it's telling you to combine green and red chemicals to get the stripping agent, which you're going to need later throughout the game. We're not going to get to that at this point yet, but you're going to be able to make note of that document as we go along. So we're going to combine the chemical in the room with Rebecca and get the hell out of there. So now that this is done, we need to make our way through to this initial double doors here. It's fine to just take Billy. You don't need much else of any other help in here. There's just a small puzzle to take care of. Also, just in case, be careful not to touch any of the other chess pieces that are on the board, because it will trigger a poison trap that will leave Billy in the poison state. You do have blue herbs just in case something like that happens, but maybe you want to save those for other instances when you would actually need it. So just make sure not to touch any of the other chess pieces. You'll see the solution on the board a little bit up ahead. Right there, I take a little bit of care not to touch anything. There's your puzzle solution right there. All you're doing is moving the piece next to the rook, and that's that. I believe if you touch any of the black chess pieces, that's what triggers the poison trap. I'm not quite sure though. I think it could also be under some of the other ones, but I believe it is the black chess pieces. The pawn and the bishop, I can't tell if that's a queen or a bishop. I believe that's a bishop in the far corner there. So this is one of those clumsy parts of the tank controls. See, I'm trying to push the piece to where it's supposed to go, but I can't quite get into the spot to orient to be able to push. That's where puzzles like this can get a little bit more frustrating. Now, it's as simple as just pushing all the way back, and you're going to get the Book of Evil here. And now, since there's nothing left to do in this room, you've already picked up the napalm grenades that are also useful for leeches. If you ever want to take those out, I'd recommend just running from them at this point in the game. As we talked about in the previous video, you can take those out with napalm grenades. And here's also Marcus's diary. This one has quite a bit of dialogue in it. I just skip through it about every second and a half. So that way, if you want to go ahead and pause the video to read a little bit more of it, you can. So now, with the Book of Evil, at this point in the video, we need to make our way to the scale, because we already have the Statue of Good complete with the angel wings. Now we need to get the Book of Evil open. It gives you the black wing, and it also will unlock another weapon for you at this point, because you need the other piece to complete the Statue of Evil itself. You need the wing. So we're going to go pick that up right now so we can make our way to the scale. See, I was trying to get to the other spot, but the piece was blocking me, so I had to go on the other side, which is kind of frustrating. So where we're going to end up going is through the initial double doors into the hall. So let's make our way there now. So I'm going to cut through that stuff so you don't have to see too much of it. Facebook.com/TBUGunslinger, Twitter @JohnRyanott. If you ever want to get a hold of me or leave comments or tell me to go fuck myself, that's the place to do it. So now we have the weapon that we've all been waiting for, guys. If you're sick and tired of using the hunting gun and you'd rather just pick up a regular shotgun, then here's the place to do it. You can kind of save this room up until this point, because otherwise there's no need to go ahead and go in here. And there's also another spot after you dispose of these zombies here that has a ladder that's leading forward. You can also use that as a shortcut to get some extra green herbs that are in the garden. To do that, because once you go through the other door, it takes you on the other side of where we just went to with the first night door. But there's quite a few zombies in the garden, so if you want to, you can completely avoid the area for now, which is what I'm going to choose to do and save the ammunition. But there is a few healing items there should you need them, so make note of that. That's available to you if you go up the ladder. So now you have the wing, and you have the other part of the statue. There you go, there's the Statue of Evil. And also in this room is the shotgun and the gas tank, so if you have any other empty bottles, you can combine them to make some more Molotov cocktails. Now we're going to do a cut here. We're going to go to the next spot, which is the scale. Now you have both statues, so the new path should open before you. Hopefully, I see there's a little bit of lag in this video. Maybe my voice will stay the same, or you can see that probably in the same aspect. I'm not sure. Sometimes that does seem to lag. I think that does happen with every time you cut a clip in SHAREfactory, so I'll have to make note of that and apologize if there is any audio lag with the terms of the way my lips are moving, because I noticed that in the first part of the video. I believe that happens every time you make a cut. But to be honest, I wouldn't be able to make all of these videos and be able to get them out in a timely fashion if I didn't make some of these cuts. So, before you went into this path, if you hadn't saved before, I had mentioned it the first time, I always like to save in the hall the first time. If you can make it all the way through before you open this path, before you go down those stairs is a good time to make your first save if you're more familiar with all of it, because there's a possibility you can get poisoned by those spiders, and if that does happen to you, all you have to do is reload your save. There's also another green and blue herb here. Since you got Rebecca, you can pick up any other ink ribbons if you choose to take those, and then you can also get the green and blue herb to combine for another poison healing item. You also can combine those with red herbs, because green and red gives you full health, as you know. And if you combine a blue in there, it also gives you full health relief and poison relief if you are poisoned. So if you're in a really dire straits, you can use that to heal yourself up completely. So now we're going to go through this creepy door here. You look like you're going into a torture chamber, and that's immediately what I thought. And as soon as you end up seeing it, yeah, it looks like a torture chamber. It looks like a dungeon. So you need to have Rebecca and Billy here.
I'm almost there.
I'm glad I could be of service. Time to go inside.
That's what she said. That's easy to do that. There's a sexual joke for you. So Rebecca is going to find what's on the other side, and she's not going to like too much of it. Good old 16th century torture chamber equipment, if you want to call it that, because that's all that is. So now Rebecca and Billy are separated once again. Here, you can use the power regulator right away if you want to. Only reason I went back is just to show you that there was another document and a note about the power regulator. I believe it says the amount of power that's supposed to be on there. You really don't have to pick up this note. You can it says set it to 70. It also is a big ass hint when you go ahead and click on it. That also, once you regulate the power regulator itself, it opens that door. Solution to this puzzle is really easy. Just get it to level 70 on the power. It's up, up, down, up, up, and that gets you to level 70. You can see by the amount on the gauges how much it's going to increase or decrease. So if you do miss it the first couple times, you'll end up figuring it out. We'll get to another spot in this video where we'll show some of these other areas to open. You're going to get to that one pretty quickly. That's right outside where the spiders were. For some reason, the spiders aren't there in the cutscene, but trust me, they're still there. And that door, you hadn't really quite seen because I hadn't shown in the video, but right where we picked up that shotgun, if you went down those stairs, you would have been blocked by the steam.
You are wasting your time. I have already claimed this place for myself, which means you are trespassing. And I am very territorial.
It just doesn't make sense. Do you honestly believe this to be the real identity of that crazy young man? Impossible. But if somehow it is true, then Umbrella will be finished.
If the old conspiracy against Dr. Marcus is revealed, Mr. Spencer's career will be over. Not to mention ours, too. So, the time has come at last.
What are you going to do?
I will simply say goodbye to Umbrella. The biological weapon utilizing the T-virus has almost been completed. Our only remaining task is to acquire combat data.
You can't be serious. I refuse to abandon my work. I have finished the research on the T-virus, but I need a little more time to complete the more powerful G-virus.
Do as you wish. I will follow my initial plan and lure the STARS members into the mansion. Their superior combat training should make them perfect test subjects.
Fine. In the meantime, something must be done about that madman. As I recall, URC is equipped with a self-destruct device in the basement. I'll find it, set it off, and annihilate the place to nothing more than a mass of rubble.
I can't. Hold on.